fans could check out Marcus on iTunes and available video on demand. Of course, you are a legendary pro wrestler as well. You're no stranger to being on the mic. I would imagine that preparing for a role, though, that's mainly scripted compared to wrestling is a bit of an adjustment, isn't it?
It's a little bit of adjustment in the fact that you don't have the instant gratification. When you're doing wrestling, you know right away if you've done something good or bad. And sometimes you can alter it, fix it, because you can feel it's going the wrong way because you have that audience vibe. As an actor on film, you have to trust in your other actor. You have to trust in your director. You have to trust in your own performance. And then you have to trust in the editing room, what happens in the editing room, whether they pick the take that you thought was best or they pick the take that worked the best for the scene. And then it has to go on film, and then it's presented to the fans. And you have to trust that in the work that you did, that the fans will receive it accordingly. It's a little bit stressful. It's also difficult for me. I've never been one that can sit and watch my matches because I'll pick it apart. I'll expose 45 things wrong with everything in my own match. I'm brutal. I don't watch my own stuff. Though probably some of the guys think I probably should. But anyway, same thing with acting. Like when I do a performance, I trust in the people I work with and I leave it there. And then it's up to the audience to enjoy it. I don't, for the lack of a better term, I don't go sit home and mark out and watch it, because I'm going to be overly critical. I'm going to ruin whatever I found in the moment that worked at the moment, and I didn't have time doing the Big Show. Like we had a different, we were getting 3 rewrites a week on the Big Show, and I'd have about a day to spend with a full script. And then we went straight to shooting Thursday and Friday. So I had to learn to forget what I did last week to work on this week. And I think that was the greatest for acting and studying and preparing. That was one of the greatest boot camps I ever could have gone through, because when you're doing a film and you've got a few weeks to digest the script and really understand the character, it's completely different than, I got a day and a half to get all this in and make sure I hit all the jokes and do all that. So I look at it like the film as it's the more time I had to prepare, the more comfortable I am.
I kind of like this recurring theme over the last 1 to 2 years for you, getting out of your comfort zone. Did a drama, did an indie film. Another thing you've been doing that's completely new is commentary. It's been a little over a year now since you joined All Elite Wrestling. Has your first year or so with AEW been everything you expected or more?
It's been more. It's been more, actually, because when I talk to Tony, and I love Tony because he's just got this positive can-do attitude that's almost infectious. He doesn't blow smoke up your ass, you know what I mean, or try to con you into something. He's just like, when I talked to him, I said, well, I really want to get into commentary. I said, I think for me, I always want to be a part of wrestling, but I know that I can't wrestle forever. At some point, I need to still be in the business. I don't want to be a coach. I don't want to be a producer. That's not my gig. But how do I contribute and still be a part of the business? And I said, I want to do the commentating thing and compete a little bit. Tony's like, okay, I got an idea for a show for you. We're launching this new show called Elevation, and you and Tony Schiavone will host it. And it was like, okay. Then like a week later, I was on Elevation commentating. No prep time. Here it is, kid. Trust in your instincts and go. And it's been great learning with Tony Schiavone, watching JR, watching Tad, learning from Excalibur. I'm starting to find that comfort role that I'm getting into, and I'm also trying to copy and learn a lot from old Gorilla Monsoon stuff. I think Gorilla Monsoon is more my style, hopefully, of commentating, where it's about enhancing the talent and giving some insight onto what they may be thinking or doing and why they're doing it from a practical sense. So hopefully it's working. Just got to get the reps in.
Definitely got to get the reps in. What was the biggest adjustment for you going from wrestling full-time or even semi-regularly to commentary?
Not talking about myself. For so many years of wrestling, it's about getting yourself over. That is not the case in commentary. You're not there to get yourself over. You're there to get the talent in the ring over. You might not know the talent in the ring. I know when I came to in WWE, I knew everybody that came through because I'd been there so long. I was like a concrete pillar that you had to walk through to walk into the door. So I knew everybody from NXT. I knew when they were coming up because I was part of all those conversations that were naturally going on. In AEW, I didn't really know any of the talent. A lot of it was indie talent. A lot of it was new talent. A lot of them I had to build relationships with. become fans of and just learn. So that stressful part of it, I think, was great in doing my job because it really made me buckle down and focus on enhancing the talent and not myself.
I know you've mentioned in some interviews you'd like to get back to wrestling at least a little bit again. How's your body feeling? And are the rumors true about this whole Captain Insano reigniting your old Waterboy character in the ring?
The rumors are true about Captain Insano. Tony, and that's one of the things Tony and I were talking about. He was talking about wrestling. I said, we don't own the Big Show moniker. That's WWE's intellectual property. And, I'd still like to compete a little bit here and there. That was one of the things I wanted to do more of in WWE. The last year and a half I was in WWE, I really didn't do much. I think I wrestled Drew McIntyre after WrestleMania, and I wrestled Randy Orton. So it was like, in a year and a half, I wrestled like twice. And that was not, at the time, that wasn't what I wanted. I wanted more interaction, more storyline. I wanted to compete more. But then on a serious note, I'd done everything I could do there in WWE. I need to get fresh territory and fresh things. And Tony had the idea, hey, man, what about Captain Insano? And I was like, that would be fun because it'd be completely different than the Big Show. It's completely different than Paul Wight. And I said, you get Captain Insano, I'll do it. And then, we worked on jumping through all the legal hoops. He got Captain Insano. We designed the gear. And now it's finding the right storyline, the right talent to plug it into where it enhances the talent and doesn't take it away from it. Because that's my thing. I want to enhance the AEW talent. I don't want to come in and quote unquote take anybody's spot or become a champion and fight for championships. I think of course, if business happens, if that works out, I'll do what's best for the company. But personally, I would like to do Captain Insano in a way that's entertaining to fans and helps enhance and help bring attention to someone in AEW that can help them grow.
What's the best piece of advice you give anybody for success?
For success, it's funny. I got this advice when I first got to WWE, is to treat every day like your first day on the job. Every day, your first day on the job, you're open to ideas, you're friendly with your colleagues, you're not too friendly, you're open to suggestions, and you have a desire to work hard to prove yourself. That's what most of us do our first day on the job. We have that. We have the right attitude. We don't let personal grievances or other people's drama or lose our passion after doing things for a certain amount of time, and to try to keep that excitement and keep that open mind and positive. You got to keep your passion going, and I think that's the key for success is not dragging unnecessary, pardon my language, bullshit into your job. Enjoy your job, be thankful. Whatever you're doing in life, you're one of the very few people in the world that are doing it. So if you enjoy doing it and you love doing it, then enjoy it. Don't bring misery to it. That makes any sense.
Definitely.
Long-winded, but enjoy what you do. How about that?
Why should everybody watch Marcus?
Well, you should watch Marcus definitely for one. It's a great dramatic film. It's great acting by Owen. But it's a great way to understand what people with mental health issues are going through. It's a great blueprint or pamphlet to understand really what's going on with someone with mental health issues and how to have a little bit more empathy and how to help support that. I think that's the thing. And the key thing is Marcus is about a man that's dealing with mental health issues, but Marcus is also about hope. And I think that's important because, we all struggle with things in our lives. We all have things that are daunting, but, the thing that keeps us going is hope. And I think that's a key message with Marcus as well, hope.
You can check out Marcus via Gravitas Ventures, available on demand via iTunes and all major platforms. Before I let you go, where can fans find you online and where can we find you next?
Well, I've got my standard social media handles, Paul Wight at Twitter, Paul Wight at Instagram. Next you can catch me on AEW. That's where I'll be. So excellent. We're moving and grooving. More things to come.
Love that. And hey, maybe we could do a raid or two, as fellow hunters in Destiny 2.
Yeah, we can do a raid or two. I'm down with that. No, as long as you're not a noob.